Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to Action for Assange. Sorry, I was just tweeting. I forgot to tweet. I'm your host, Misty Winston. Sleepy Josh is here in the background on the ones and twos. This is an emergency show. We have some disturbing news on the David McBride front that we want to discuss. I do want to make it clear that there's not a whole lot I can discuss openly. Sorry, my camera's a little jacked up. I have to be very careful about how I talk about this stuff. I've been in contact with somebody on David's team, but there's a lot of moving parts here, and there's obviously just a lot of things that we cannot publicly put out there because we don't want to damage his appeal or how he's being treated, things like that. So I'm going to try to give you as much information as I can without causing any damage. I am deeply disturbed. I will say that when David was initially convicted and sent to prison, we were initially told that he was in a fairly decent place, that it was a nice prison. It was nothing like Belmarsh, that he was being treated well. He was going to have access to his daughters and all of this other stuff. And it doesn't appear like that is actually the case. So really quickly, I just want to go over just a couple numbers before we dive into all of this. So it has been 17,697 days since Litter Peltier was arrested. He obviously was recently denied parole, which is absurd to me. I'm not really sure what the next move is there. So I did just want to keep his name, in the conversation. I am not involved in that team. Frankly, they don't, at least certain elements of it don't seem to want me to be. So I'm just going to keep his name out there and back off. So, but he was just recently denied his parole, which was likely going to be his last chance. He's older. His health has been failing. So it's not looking good for him to get out. It has been, 67 days since David McBride was sentenced to 5 years and 8 months in prison. That includes a non-parole period of 2 years and 3 months. And that essentially just means that he's not eligible for parole for 2 years and 3 months out of that 5 year, 8 month sentence. Obviously, they are filing that appeal, but as everybody knows, the appeal process takes forever. And they are in the process of preparing that and getting that ready, but it's still it would likely take, I would say, at least a year, maybe even longer. And I think that, he should have never been sent to prison. So the idea that he may have to spend 5 years and 8 months in prison is untenable to me. Even 2 years, 3 months is ridiculous. And it's also been, hey, good news, 26 days since Julian Assange was arrested. Unfortunately, we still haven't heard from him yet. Which
Freed, not arrested. Freed.
Oh, freed. Sorry. Released. That's what I meant. 26 days since Julian Assange was released. Still haven't heard from him yet, which makes me uncomfortable. I'm not going to apologize for saying it. Makes me uncomfortable. But he is out. So hopefully he will speak soon. I realize he needs to rest and all of that good stuff, but many of his supporters have been begging to hear from him since 2018 when his internet was cut off at the embassy. So it has been 6 years really since we have heard anything other than leaked audio from courtroom appearances. And so I think we would all very much like to hear from him. So, okay. So the David McBride situation, this is what kicked all of this off. I was scrolling through my Twitter account and I have David's Twitter account on whatever the notifications thing. And it is being run by his legal team currently. And this came up a couple days ago. It says Dave's been in jail for 64 days. Due to immediate concerns for his safety, we can't say more except to say his situation is grim. He has no access to natural light and restricted contact with his daughters. Help free McBride by donating to his fundraiser. And I'll put the fundraiser link in the chat. I forgot to add it to the description. So I will remind me to do that.
All right.
Because I'll forget. So I'll put it in the chat now. So please go and make a contribution if you are able to. I get it if you're not. Share it. The more people that see it, the more people that can donate will donate. So we need as many eyes on that as humanly possible. So obviously this tweet made me upset. I was upset, to say the least. So I reached out to David's team, and they did reply, and I do have some information. Again, I do have to be very careful about how I'm discussing this, just for his safety's sake. So I will say this. What is needed now, according to his legal team, is obviously a fundraising. The financial situation has been, I will say, tenuous, for various reasons that I can't really openly discuss. But they need funding. They do have, currently his lawyers are essentially working pro bono. That's obviously not sustainable given the size of this case and what they're up against. So they need some help financially dealing with all of this stuff and the appeal process and all of that. So that is a huge part of this. They need financial assistance. So again, if you are able to donate, please consider it. If you're not, share it. If you donate, share it too. Doesn't matter. If you can donate, great. Share it either way. So that's number one. Number two is we need a massive pressure campaign similar to the one that we saw for Julian Assange on the Australian government. Now, Anthony Albanese likes to pretend that he cares about truth and he cares about whistleblowers and he cares about journalism and all of this stuff, right? These are all things. I mean, he's got these whistleblower protection things that he's trying to pretend that he cares about and supports, and he's trying to take a tremendous amount of credit for getting Julian Assange freed, although we all know that he would not have done anything had there not been a massive amount of public pressure. So we need that level of pressure again on Anthony Albanese on the David McBride front. So I would love to see, I'm trying to figure out who in Australia could take up that charge. It's obviously hard for us to do it from the United States. There are things that I'm looking into doing. I think that a social media campaign would obviously be great. I'm going to work on a graphic and some other things that we can share on social media to put some pressure on Anthony Albanese and others. I'm trying to figure out if there's some sort of similar phone line that we can call to like the White House comment line, or if we can just contact Anthony Albanese's office directly, or what would be the best route to go in that regard, in terms of like doing a phone frenzy like we've done so many times for Julian Assange. So I'm trying to figure out which phone number. So once I get all of that information and I'm able to figure all of those, like the best avenues out, then I'll get graphics made and all of that stuff and blast it out on social media. But for now, you can certainly start putting pressure on Anthony Albanese. I think his Twitter handle is at Albo MP, I think. Let me double check. Yeah, at Albo, ALBO MP. I'll bring his Twitter page up so you can see his smug mug. This is Anthony Albanese's Twitter page. Go follow him. I'm following him. I like to follow people like this so that I can keep an eye on their shenanigans. But go follow him and start putting that pressure on. Start questioning why David McBride is in prison. Hey, I thought you supported whistleblowers. Hey, I thought you supported truth and justice and all of these things. Start doing that. The more social media pressure that we can put out there, that will build. I mean, we saw the way that happened with the Assange stuff. So if we can start putting that pressure on now, I think that we can be pretty impactful over the course of the next several months. I don't know. When is the next election in Australia?
I got no clue.
Australia elections. I don't know either. I mean, I am not Australian. I should know more of this stuff. When is Australia's next election? Expected by May 2025. So we can make this an election issue. And we should make this an election issue. I'm going to, again, I don't know if I finished that sentence or not. I'm trying to find somebody in Australia, an activist or a group of activists who, and I'm sure that there are already people working on the McBride stuff. I think just since post Assange, all of us took a little breather and a step back from everything, rightfully so. It was nice, but our friend David needs us now. I mean, he has needed us, but certainly needs the pressure increase now. So hopefully the Australian crew will be willing to jump in and lead the charge on this one. Yeah, Friendly Jordies is a great, yes, thank you. Friendly Jordies is good friends with David as well. I have tried to reach out to him previously and he has not responded to me, which is not surprising. He's huge in Australia. He probably has no idea who I am. Maybe I can reach out to David's team and ask if they have contact information with him, because we could work with him and try to get the ball rolling for sure. But Friendly Jordies is a great resource, especially in Australia, because he's like the Australian Jimmy Dore, is what at least so far that's what Andrew says anyway. So, but I would love to see the Australian activists jump on board, because we really need to get the pressure. We need all of the politicians who were supporting Julian Assange. We need them now to support David McBride, the David Shoebridges, and all of those guys, the people, the DC6, that whole contingent. It would be great if those same people took up the mantle of David McBride and started, which I know that they have previously, but we really need that pressure to be increased exponentially. So that is really where we're at right now. Those are the two things that we need. We need fundraising and we need pressure on the Australian government. I think that's about all I can say out loud. Yeah, right? I'm trying to be very careful here because I don't want to screw up.
Yeah, you covered what you needed to cover.
Yeah. I mean, those are just the two plans of action, is both fundraising, and then we need a tremendous amount of pressure. Also, it's not just in Australia. I don't think people realize how involved the United States was in David McBride's case. David McBride, the reason why he had to end up pleading guilty was because the United States government swooped in and was like, no, we don't want you using any of this evidence because it also makes us look bad. And so all of the things that he was going to base his case off of were stripped from him. Literally, they came into the courtroom, took all of the papers, and walked out the door. And that is what led to him having to plead guilty. So the United States is tremendously involved in David McBride's conviction and sentencing. So I don't know how much pressure we can really put here, because they will, no question, wash their hands of it and be like, that's an Australia issue. We have nothing to do with that. There's no doubt in my mind. But we can still put pressure on Anthony Albanese on behalf of United States citizens. I think, and just any amount of pressure, regardless of where it's coming from, I think would be hugely beneficial. So, and yeah, I'm going to reach out to Kathy as well. She's obviously a tremendous resource. She'll have more information in terms of some of the activists that we can maybe reach out to work with on this, and things like that. And I'm hoping our London friends will also join in. I'm hoping Assange activists everywhere will jump on the David McBride case. I realize we're all tired and we were very excited to be able to take a break. And we did. I mean, I took a little break, sort of. But David really needs us. He's not in a great situation. So I would love to see Assange supporters everywhere jump on board and do what they can here. So that is that it?
Yeah, I mean, that's really all we can get into without getting pithy.
Yeah, I have to be tremendously careful. I'm really choosing my word. I'm speaking a lot slower. That's the reason why. I'm trying to make sure I'm not saying anything out.
I mean, the bottom line is we got to help our friends. So,
Yes. And
any help, share his fundraiser, all that stuff.
I know what I wanted to do. Shit, I don't think I have it saved. Hold on, I'll see if I can find it on his YouTube channel. Write to him. You guys have no idea how helpful that is in a situation like his. Just knowing, his lawyer did tell me that she is reading my tweets about him, which makes me incredibly happy that he knows that we're still talking about him. We're still out here. So that I love that. But getting letters from people knowing that he hasn't been forgotten about, knowing that people are fighting for him, that we're talking about it. I did ask if he is receiving his mail, and they said that he's receiving some, but they know of people that have written him that he has not yet received their letters yet. So that pisses me off, but it's not unexpected. So here's the address right here. Write this down. I'll leave it on the screen for a minute. Write this down, write this down, write this down. I will also repost it again on my Twitter. I think my current pinned tweet is actually his fundraiser. I'm not sure if it's the right one though. Let me look. Oh no, it's his website. I have his website as my pinned tweet. I'll switch that out and make it the most recent tweet about the situation.
Send me all
happening.
The links and I'll throw them in the description.
Okay, here is, do you want me to put them in the private chat?
Just throw it in Twitter after we're done.
Okay.
I have to wait till we're done before I can.
Okay. I'll send you the fundraiser website. What else? Fundraiser website. Is that it? Yeah. Can you add his address?
Yeah, I should have enough room for that.
Okay. And we'll put his address in the description so everybody can check that out as well. So write this address down. Send him a letter. Thanks, Spacer. I did my own hair. Sorry. Me and Sleepy were just talking about this. I'm not very good at girly stuff, so I get very excited when I do a good job. But yeah, write him some letters. We don't know if we know he's not getting all of them, but he is getting some. So write him a lot of letters, and at least one of them will get through, I would hope. Make sure you follow the guidelines that are on here. And by the way, if you don't get a chance to write this down right now, if you go to David McBride on YouTube, it's under his community tab. It's the first post under the community tab. Just jump on there and you can find it there. And it also gives all of the, no glitter or glue, blah, 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 blah. So just be very mindful of following the rules. Otherwise, he won't get the letter that you write him. But write him a letter. Let's start a serious pressure campaign on Anthony Albanese specifically. Also, who was the other one that she mentioned? What's the name? Shit. I'm so bad at names. And Dreyfus. Anthony Albanese and Dreyfus. Let me see if I can find the Dreyfus guy. Mark Dreyfus. He is at Mark Dreyfus KCMP. He's the federal attorney general. So I'm going to follow him. Asshole. So those are the two names mentioned to me specifically by his legal team, Anthony Albanese and Mark Dreyfus. So those are the two people we need to pressure. Again, I'm going to get some graphics made up, figure out a line of attack. Also, again, friendly reminder, don't be an asshole. I mean, be an asshole, but within reason. Don't attack.
Be a polite asshole.
Yes. Be persistent. This is unacceptable. You know what I mean? You can be strong without being psychotic. You know what I'm saying? There's that fine line that you have to find. You don't have to kiss their ass. You don't have to say pretty please, but put pressure on without stepping over that line, I think is what I'm trying to get across. I think
assertive, not an asshole.
Yeah, assertive. Yes. Assertive, but don't take it too far. And I don't know why I'm saying, I'm just to be clear, our audience is not dumb. They know how to behave themselves. We've been through this. This is already something that we've done for many, many years. It's just a different case. So we all are very well versed and very well practiced at this game, unfortunately. So we just need to step up the pressure and really get to work on this quickly. So I'm going to stop sharing that. I'm going to bring up Mark Dreyfus so you guys can see what his Twitter page looks like, so everybody can go follow him. There's his smug mug. I hate all these people so much. Look at the cute little picture with all the kids. Turd.
Probably wants to make a coat out of them.
Oh, it made me think of Cruella DeVille. What's her name?
Made me think of Claire. Good old
Claire Dobbins. Yeah. Cruella DeVille. This is our new Cruella DeVille.
I don't know. He looks more like a Mega Brain.
Mega Brain. Oh my God, that's still the best. You know what? The Assange case sucked. It was long, it was hard, it was exhausting, it was stressful, but we managed to have some fun, you guys. We really did. The Mega Brain stuff was like a bright shining light in a tunnel full of darkness. That was fun. Remember that Halloween episode?
It was fantastic.
We did a Halloween vigil, and Steve was Mega Brain, and he wore like a.
And that was the last time we had seen Andrew with no beard.
Yeah, true. That was right before Beards for Assange started. But yeah, Steve wore the brain thing, beanie thing. I was Cruella DeVille, and that wig was awful. That was so bad. Oh, so bad.
Wait, it might have been the Halloween before that.
Oh, the beard one? Maybe. I don't remember. Maybe. We did several Halloween episodes. We need to bring those back. Those were fun.
Those were pretty fun.
We need to do that again. Just for shits and giggles. It's good to be able to have a laugh every once in a while when we're dealing with all of this really dark stuff. Listen, if I didn't have gallows humor, I would be in a puddle all the time. I have to laugh or I'll lose my mind. Okay, so Anthony Albanese, target number 1. Mark Dreyfus, target number 2. We need a tremendous amount of pressure, public pressure. Social media pressure is my favorite kind of pressure because they can't hide from it. It's not like a letter to their office or a phone call that they can ignore. It is public pressure. And I think that that's generally the most effective because we can continue to add on to that. And as they see it growing, it becomes an even bigger issue and even more difficult for them to
on their side.
Yes. Yeah. Because again, they can't ignore it. It's not like they can try, but as that pressure continues to build, more and more people are going to start asking about it. And it's going to be more and more difficult for them to not answer the question. So, those phone calls to his office, those were awesome. Not saying we shouldn't do them. Letter writing campaigns, awesome. Not saying we shouldn't do it. We should maybe do a postcard campaign. I think those were very, very, very effective. As we talked about with Paula on Saturday with Boston. Was it Saturday? Whatever day it was. Wednesday? I don't know. All my days blur together. But I think that was tremendously successful. So maybe we can get a postcard campaign going. If there's anybody,
I might know someone that can do some flyer stuff for that.
Well, if there's anybody who's tremendously wealthy that wants to donate to our efforts, postcards can be kind of expensive to get printed. And I forget who it was. I think it was Ann Batiza managed to find a donor to help with the Assange postcard campaign. I would love to get.
Might know someone that knows somebody. I'll reach out.
I mean, Friendly Jordy's has probably got a decent amount of money. I wonder if he would help. I mean, he doesn't have to fund the whole thing, but even if he would just help a little bit.
Well, one of my good friends, he was in the printing business a long time and knows a lot of current printers that are small businesses. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't like asking small businesses for discounts. Like
they've done like a lot of these people are.
I would be willing to give them a tremendous amount of publicity. I will say that. Like I will blast.
I'll talk to him.
I will blast their company name all the fuck over. I will talk about them on every show. And
I mean, if we could get enough printed to do what Halo did with McBride, that'd be phenomenal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if we could get something on that level, that would be awesome. I think that would be hugely successful.
I highly think that is one of the things. The Paula thing is what annoyed them about the the DOJ. It
Yeah,
had to be.
because
I mean, they mentioned it in an article.
they sure did. Well, because we started going after the lawyers involved, and previous to that, they had kind of flew under the radar. Nobody was talking. It was always Merrick Garland, Joe Biden, Donald Trump. Everybody was talking about the big players involved. But then we started going after the people who were that next level down, and I think that that's what really started to make them nervous. Like, oh, wait a minute, they're really paying attention here to the people who are involved, and I think that that's what moved the needle a little bit. Not saying that any one thing was the thing, but I think that there was a lot of things. But I think that that's what I'm saying. Like, that postcard campaign was hugely successful, and I would love to be able to get something like that going for David. No question about it. So if anybody knows anybody with some money, I would love to do that. And I hate fundraising. I hate asking, like, you guys, our audience, for money. It makes my skin crawl, frankly. I don't like doing it. We have a fundraiser up right now that I've had up for like weeks that I have not promoted because it makes my skin crawl. I don't like doing it. So I would love if we could just find like a rich person who really, really loves whistleblowers and free speech and whatever, to help us out. That would be cool. I don't know if any of those people actually exist. Friendly Jordies, again, I don't know a whole lot about him. I'm sure he's not like super wealthy. He's pretty big though in Australia. So he's got to have some kind of money, right? Too bad we can't get Mr. Beast involved.
Right.
That guy's got so much money. It's ridiculous. But he stays pretty out of politics, I think, generally. He does like I'm going to go build houses in a third world country, that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm not above asking. Like, I'll start tweeting at him, asking him to give me some money, for sure.
We need postcards, fool.
Yeah, I don't mind asking rich people for money. I just don't like asking.
Shit.
I don't like asking our audience.
He's got more money he knows what to do with.
Yeah, like if somebody would just give me like, shit. I mean, the shoestring budget we've been working with. If somebody would give me like 10 grand, the things I could do. We could get David McBride out of prison come on. I mean, like Paula and I putting together that last home run for Julian stop in DC in like 12 days with no money. We can do it. Like
just printing fees, really, for a lot of it.
It's printing fees. It's stamps. Stamps are expensive.
That would be more tricky too if we're wanting.
Yeah, because you have to get international stamps. Those are even more expensive. Which I have some international stamps left over from I think it was when we did the Priti Patel postcards way back. But I think I have like 200 maybe. That's not good enough. But stamps are pricey. Like, that adds up very quickly. And yeah, printing is relatively expensive, especially if we want to do something on the scale that we did for Assange. So,
I mean, we definitely throw it up on a site too and have people print their own too.
Yeah, but that's like, we were able to, like, Halo printed them all for everybody, address them all, put stamps on them, and then she was able to send out, like, she sent me a huge ass stack of postcards that were already ready to go, and all I had to do was just like fill it out. Free easy. Assange journalism is not like it was. In our experience, if you make it unbelievably simple, it's really easy to get people to participate. The more complicated it becomes, the less likely people are to do it. So that's just reality. So if we leave it up to people to print their own and all of that stuff, I worry that it wouldn't be like with that.
Well, I'm not saying only do that; just have it as an option.
Yeah. We did that with the Assange stuff. We said, hey, we can send them to you, or here's the PDF or whatever. You can print your own. But I want to make sure that it's. We need a lot of people, so I think if we can make it as simple as
Australians. Possible, tell them about McBride because they buried that shit.
Yeah, they did, dude. What was it like? One mainstream place showed up to cover his sentencing.
Dude, it's shameful.
It is unbelievably shameful. Not surprising. Mainstream media sucks the world over, but not surprising.
I think the government scared the shit out of them with all the raiding and stuff. So.
Mm-hmm.
They like to raid their journalists there.
Yeah. And yeah, Adam, VS Adams, I wasn't saying that you said that Friendly Jordies would have money. I'm just saying that he probably does. And he's friends with McBride. So again, it would be nice if
We're just spitballing ideas.
Yeah.
We're action
and
first
I'm not
on.
saying he has
We
to. I'm
are
just saying these are
famous
people we could
for
potentially
postcards.
ask. We know that Friendly Jordies is an ally. We know that he is not just an ally, he is literally friends with David McBride. And so he would be, I think, a good starting point. I'm just trying to think of people who might have money who would be willing to contribute. Even if it's just a little bit, it would be helpful, because I just really don't want to have to ask you guys for money, because nobody's got any. Let's be real.
Yeah, I'm broke as shit.
Everybody's broke as shit. That's just how it goes right now. So, and yes,
they did that on purpose, so we can't do shit.
Yeah. Yes. 100%. Listen, activism is expensive. It's just the sad reality. Activism is expensive. I know we've talked about this a million times before, but the unbelievable amount of money that Paula has spent out of pocket. I mean, I think she might be the worst. Halo spent, I mean, I've spent a tremendous amount of money. I think Paula has probably spent the most out of at least the people I surround myself with. She spent a lot of money out of pocket. And I know I've spent thousands of dollars out of pocket. It's not cheap. Between banners for events and sound systems and flyers and postcards and shirts and buttons and button makers and trips to DC and Airbnbs and food when you're on the road and all of that stuff. And again, we've been able to do some fundraisers that have covered some of it, but it adds up, unfortunately, very quickly. It's ridiculous. And again, we're able to do a lot on not very much money. I don't remember how much we raised for the big October event, but that was a banging event. Like, we fucking crushed that event. It was so good. And we did that on a shoestring budget. Like, relatively speaking, that was a tiny budget. And we had a fantastic sound system, and we had amazing speakers, and we had great signage, and Paula was able to do that massive yellow ribbon that we wrapped around the Department of Justice. That was so cool. Still one of the coolest things. I literally almost started crying as we left the corner to start marching. I almost started crying. It was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. But we were able to do that on nothing. So we can do a lot with a little. It's just getting that little. I can't, like, my husband's going to kill me. He's going to murder me. No, he won't. He's very patient with my shenanigans, but it does get expensive. So for sure. And yes, Halo does an unbelievable job. Y'all, Halo does not get enough credit. We're going to talk to her tomorrow with the Tulsa crew. The amount of work that she put into, and we'll talk about this tomorrow, but seriously, the amount of work that she put into the activism in a box thing, and the postcard campaign. I mean, she was like personalizing letters to, like, if you contacted her and said, hey, I want one of your boxes, she would ask you where you live, what district are you in? And she was personalizing everybody's letters for your specific elected representatives for you. She was doing all of that work for you. And then sending you a box where literally all you had to do was like sign some stuff and put it in the mailbox. It was unreal, unbelievable. And like I said, the postcards, she was, all of those were already addressed. They had stamps on them. They were already ready to go. All you had to do was just fill them out with like a little, couple sentences and sign your name. That's all you had to do, and then throw them in a mailbox. I mean, the amount of work that she put into all of that stuff is insane. And she does, and yeah, locals to your local town papers. Insane. Like, she was looking up people's hometown newspapers to personalize letters for you. It is, but I mean, just the amount of work that she put into it. I can't imagine the number of hours. I can't imagine the number of hours that she put into all of that stuff. It's crazy. So yes, Halo deserves a tremendous amount of credit. I'm very excited to talk to her in the Tulsa crew tomorrow. So yeah, but anyways, we're getting off topic here. So yeah, we just need to put lots of pressure specifically on Anthony Albanese, mostly because I dislike him immensely and I just want to put a lot of pressure on him. But he's the guy, right? He's the prime minister. He's the guy who has been talking about whistleblower protections and all of this stuff. He's trying to take all this credit for Julian Assange being freed. And the idea that he is sitting back and doing nothing as David McBride sits in prison is unacceptable to me. So we need lots of pressure there. And write to David. Again, you can find the address on his YouTube page on the community tab. Just look up David McBride on YouTube and then go to the community tab. It's the first post listed there. And then please, 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 I'll put the fundraiser in the chat once again. If you are capable. And yes, the network of people across the United States is tremendously helpful as well. She did a great job with that. I'm wondering... we don't really, well, I don't know. I'll have to ponder. I'm pondering things out loud again. Yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's all I have so far.
We'll be back tomorrow.
We'll be back tomorrow.
Earlier, right?
Yeah, 5 p.m. with Tulsa. So we'll have Halo. I forget who else coming. She's got several people coming from the Tulsa crew. And we're going to talk about all of the work that they've done. They've been on the ground for a very long time. So they'll have a lot of really helpful insight and information about things that they were able to do over the years that were successful, which I think that's going to be my favorite part of these shows, is being able to pick other activists' brains about what worked and what didn't and how we can like build on those types of things. So that'll be awesome. And then Denver we have on Wednesday. So 5 p.m. tomorrow we have Tulsa, and then 7 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday we have the Denver crew. And then I'm also in talks with, again, Emmy from London, Alex from New Zealand. I'm going to try to get in touch with some of the Australia crews. I want to get Seattle for Assange. I want to get the San Francisco crew. I want to get Nat from Mexico. I want to get there was a Toronto crew. I want to get the Toronto crew on.
Anyone we can.
Anybody I can, where there's not a major language barrier, because I'm worried about some of the Italian crews or the Germany crews. I'm not sure if language will be an issue there.
Most Germans speak real good English.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not super familiar with the people in those groups.
I've talked to some of the German crew before when I did my Alexis stream, and there was no problem.
Okay. Because I'm familiar with their work, obviously. We talk about it all the time, how awesome they are. But I don't think I know any of them personally. I think
we've talked to them before.
I think I've maybe talked to some of the people from Italy on Twitter, but not like face to face.
Yeah, we talked to a bunch of different groups when we did that 24-hour stream.
Yeah.
Ton of different groups. So
maybe we could do a 24-hour stream for McBride, like a fundraiser stream.
Maybe.
We could maybe put something like that together. Get his lawyers. Maybe we could get his daughters to come on.
Not a terrible idea.
Good. That would be good. Getting his daughters to come on. I wonder if we could play his little documentary too. That would be good. We get people an opportunity to get to know him, like the man behind.
He's a fantastic human being. If you haven't talked to him or seen him talk.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm trying to get Jamie too. The UK crew, Jamie. I want to get
Gordon too.
Yeah, Gordon. I want to get Daniel Fuchs. I want to get Daniel Fuchs so bad. I love Daniel Fuchs.
Dude, he's funny as hell.
I love him so much. I can't believe we've never had him on a show before. That's like a tragedy. I was thinking about that the other day, and I'm like, what's wrong with us? I love him so much. I'm very excited. I'm going to get him on. I'm very excited to get him on. There's so many people I want to talk to. So it's just a matter of time zones and scheduling and all of that stuff. It makes my brain hurt just thinking about it. So, but I'll ponder doing maybe like a 24-hour show, or maybe not even a 24-hour show. Maybe we just get his daughters to come on and we just do like a fundraiser. I don't know. Well, if anybody has ideas of things that we can do to help raise awareness, raise money, whatever, I'm open to any and all thoughts on that. Because we need to help our pal out. So please write to David, start putting pressure on Anthony Albanese and Mark Dreyfus, and spread the fundraiser far and wide. Go. I want to see it on Twitter right now. Like, everybody go flood Twitter, share the shit out of it. I'm going to go share it again. I'm going to make it my pinned tweet instead of his website right now. Oh, and by the way, go buy his book. I should have brought it down here. The Nature of Honor. You can get it on his website. You can get it on Amazon if that's something you're okay with. You can get it through the publisher. I think it's through, is it Versa or ROR? I'm not sure. You can get it through his publisher. Hey, thanks, Charlie. I did it myself. I get very excited because I am terrible at doing hair stuff and girly stuff in general. And like when I came, like Sleepy was like, your hair looks good. And he thought I went to my guy and got my hair done. I did it myself. Thank you very much. I get very proud. I even came down and bragged to my kid. She's like, okay. I don't do, you'll never see, you won't see this again for a while. I don't do it very often. I was feeling feisty today. But yeah, go buy his book. That also helps as well. All of the money that he raises from that also can go to his legal fund. So go, it's called The Nature of Honor. David McBride is what you can search for on, if you're doing the Amazon thing or whatever. But also you can find it on his website, which is, what I say, davidmcbride.co.uk, right? I always forget. Hold on, it's my pinned tweet. Hold please. It is, yes, davidmcbride.com.au. Here,
I always forget the Australia prefix.
Yeah, I am terrible at remembering this stuff. But also here on his website, you can find, there's our friend. He's such a...
I miss him.
Yeah. He's such a fantastic human being. Genuinely kind and selfless. And, I mean, just like, you can't ask for a better human, really. He's just good. And we don't have very many good people, like really, truly good people. He is like salt of the earth, amazing human being. And that's his dog, Jake. There's Jakey boy. I worry about Jake too, which might sound weird, but Jake is his service dog because David was dealing with a tremendous amount of PTSD and stress and trauma and anxiety and all of that stuff. I worry that David's not with Jake. I worry about Jake. I'm sure that's difficult for the dog to understand as well. And I have a soft spot for animals. But on here on the website, you can find out more about David's case. You can find out, you can find the fundraiser here. This is the video that I think we played it on the show, or maybe we didn't. I think this came out the day after his sentencing. And this is his video where he opens it up and he says, if you're watching this, I'm in prison. So go watch that. Made me cry, of course. But you can just learn a little bit about David here on the website. And then also he's got merch too. I just recently asked if we could please get a free McBride shirt. I'm like, I have a shirt addiction. I need to stop buying shirts. And then the next day I'm like, hey, McBride team, can we please get shirts? So I'm doing really good.
You'd be surprised. Shirts can be conversation starters.
Who the
hell's that?
I can't tell you the number of times wearing a Assange shirt started conversations. So many times. At the fair, my local county fair, I wore a free Assange shirt and I was stopped 3 times in one day with different people who are like, yes, absolutely, he needs to be freed. I can't believe he's in prison. And I was like, this is awesome. And small town Ohio. So yeah, huge. I am all about shirts with a message. I think that if I'm here, I sound like an addict. I'm trying to justify shit. But if I just buy shirts that are like that, that's okay, right? Like, it's okay. That's
I mean, you
okay.
need a couple of them.
For sure. I mean,
I'm no help though, so
no, you're not. What did you do the other day?
antiwar.com merch.
Yes. I'm
I
like,
still need to order shit. The fucking site wouldn't work. It was annoying.
really? Even the one that Dave sent you?
Yeah. It was having, but yeah, it was having issues like doing any processing whatsoever. So I think their site was fucked up.
Oh,
So
well, check it, see if they've got it fixed. Yeah, Sleepy's over here talking about my anti-war shirt that I wore for the Boston show. He's like, oh my God, I need that. And then he's like talking about all these things he wants to buy. And I'm like, stop talking about it.
Hey,
You're going to make me want to go buy stuff.
Trucker hat.
They do have a great trucker hat. And other cool shirts. I like shirts, guys. And I like, again, I feel like shirts with a message are justifiable. I realize I sound like a really terrible addict, but I can quit when I want to. Okay. I don't have a problem. I have a problem. I genuinely do. I know that. But yeah, he's got the Truth is a Lonely Warrior shirt and tote bag there. I'm going to see if I can get a free McBride shirt. And if they are not going to make one, I'll fucking make one. And then we'll set it up so that whatever money we make on that will go right back to him. Because I'm not trying to make money off of it. But I want one. So if I have to make one myself, I'm going to make one myself. I know plenty of people who can design one for us. So I will ask again. I'm sure that they're very busy. I'll ask again. And if they would like some help, assistance in doing that, I'm more than willing to help them get that together. And then hopefully we can get some free McBride shirts, because I think that would be nice to have for all of us. Okay. Tomorrow, Tulsa, Denver, Wednesday. If anybody has any other questions, again, I can't really talk about a whole lot just yet. As I can, I will obviously update everybody. But we just have to be very careful about what we say out loud right now, because he is in such a precarious situation. And so we have to make sure that nothing that we're talking about could potentially make that worse.
Legal stuff. So
yeah. And I mean, dealing with prison systems and lawyers and judges and appeals and all of that stuff, you don't want to say or do anything that could put him in further danger or jeopardize his case, his appeal. So I'm trying to be very careful for obvious reasons. So, but we just need to do everything that we can to put as much pressure as we can and help as much as we can, do what we do. Listen, again, we've been doing this for years. We're just switching subject. You know what I mean? We're just switching to a new case, new guy. We've already focused on McBride some, but now that Assange is out, we can put a lot more focus and attention there and hopefully get him out of prison as well. Because now I feel like we have some momentum and some confidence. You know what I mean? Like, I feel a lot more confident now. Because I feel like we won one. Even if it's like a manufactured win a little bit. I feel like we won one. Okay, we'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern with Tulsa. And thanks for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow.
Have a good one, everybody.